your vast knowledge and training and great teacher. I mean, out of all the senseis that I've had, you're the best teacher I've ever had. I mean, I'm just, not just saying that. I wouldn't be here if you weren't.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I think that I look at, I had many martial arts teachers, but the two that stand out are Triplett. Because I was with him for about 7.5 years, and obviously Edward Smith. Edward J. Smith. So Triplett was a phenomenal teacher. He was a phenomenal teacher. Everything was on point. He was just really good at teaching. He was very poignant. He was very direct. He was very exacting in his movements. He was very like, this needs to move like this, and this needs to look like this. And he would, if you didn't get it verbally, he would show you a picture of himself. He would pose it for you, and he would do it. And if you didn't get that, he would physically grab you and manipulate your body into doing it correctly. I took that from him, and then my teacher taught through. I say my teacher, my other teacher, Edward J. Smith Sensei. He taught through really interesting means. One was, how you do that thing when you're teaching your piano teacher? Right there.
Yeah.
And they say, which key is it?
And I just go right there, and I don't even go over and show them.
You don't show them?
But then they get it.
They get it?
Yeah.
Smith would do that to me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. I would say, is it supposed to be? And he'd say, yes. And I'd be like, what? The confusion before the awakening. It's so important. So he would set up like mental conditioning. I had another student give me a compliment. He said to me, this is another backhanded compliment. He said to me, Sensei, sometimes I feel like you don't teach me. Sometimes I feel like you're programming me. I thought you are very intelligent. That was my first thinking. Like you figured that out. That's wonderful.
But he thought he was saying something bad to you.
Yeah. No, you were right. You're right. A good teacher will teach, absolutely. But there are times where it's very difficult to get through because of a lot of things. Mental blocks, physical inability, all kinds of things. But anyone, this is going to sound weird to the public. Yeah. This is one of those things that my wife says not to say.
Oh, but we'll explain it. We'll explain it, though. We'll explain it. I know what you mean.
Program.
We'll explain it. The programming is not about a mind manipulation, but it's about actually.
It is.
But not the kind that the public is aware of.
What was really funny was a person was watching my Aiki video, and they said, look at what he's doing right now. That's a classic case of hypnotic suggestion, and I'm watching the video like he's trying to troll me, and I watched the video and I was like, well, he's right. Like, he's right. That's me teaching. I was going beyond the conscious mind. I was touching into the subconscious.
Yeah, but
purposefully.
You have to in this art.
Well, it's a lot quicker to teach. It's a lot quicker to program than it is to teach. And here's the thing: if I was this bad guy, then I wouldn't program because there's a lot more money in teaching because they're going to get it a lot slower. I'm programming so that they pick it up fast. I'll pick it up really fast.
Okay, I'll give them an example of what programming is.
Sure.
So I probably told this story on another episode, but I can't remember. But I was in the bed, wrestling with my girlfriend, and she wouldn't stop like pushing me and stuff. I'm like, come on, stop pushing me. I'm trying to go to sleep. She's like, no, come on, wake up. I'm like, no, come on, stop. She goes to throw a punch at me, and I tenkai, but without knowing it, I tenkai and grab her arm, and I heard boom.
Yeah.
And I turn around, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She's going, ow, and she hit her head. not because of something I thought of doing, but because I was programmed to do it.
Yes.
If there's an arm coming at me, I've been programmed to move a certain way.
Yes.
Without thinking about it, because if I would have thought about it, I wouldn't have done it because it was my girlfriend. But I reacted as I was programmed.
And thought is half of it. But you need the other half. Those of you that are like, oh, I'm sure that this tangent can possibly be its own episode. Maybe we should cut it.
Oh yeah.
But the point is that the programming part is necessary, and the military knows this, and they really program.
Body head.
They really program, and it's a necessary thing because sometimes you're not going to be thinking, and you need to rely on that training, and that training is about becoming entrained. And I feel bad for the teachers. I feel bad for the students that don't do it. Edward Smith was very good at programming. He would take you off topic, and then he'd bring you back to it with violence. And one of the things, starting out, was you were like a scared field mouse, like,
what's he gonna do next?
Yeah, it was always like that.
So you had to react.
Oh, all the time, because you'd be sitting here like this and you just boom, and he'd just sock you. So you'd be like, and you would try to make a neurological association, like, whatever I did, I will never do that again. That was what you did, because you just got socked. Sensei's pissed, and then he would smile. You'd be like, how are you? You alright? Look at you like there's something wrong with you. And I'd be like, am I crazy, or did you just sock me? And you go, are you having a problem with this? Are you having a bad day? It's just, and it was always there. So that type of thing.
Oh, what kind of relationship was that?
It was a weird one.
Golly!
It was a weird one. But talk about...
Why would you stick around for that?
Well, that was difficult.
That's your superpower. Paid. You're like, fuck paid. I'm gonna stick around for this shit. Yes.
Yeah, well, when someone jiggles and, like, people fly through the air...
Oh, yeah, you're not going anywhere. I understand that.
That man is magical. Like, can you give me magic?
And you sat there and got it.
That's what it was. It was just... And what I mean by that magic is that the Aiki, the higher forms of Aiki, they look totally magical. Another backhanded compliment is when they say, "Oh, that looks so fake."
We got to put a clip of that in there.
Okay.
The fake looking stuff that's so real.
Yeah. So when they say, "Oh, that looks so fake," I'm like, yeah, it does look fake. I was there, not believing it. And. Yeah, but anyway, how I became the teacher that I am today is, one, I had a phenomenal teacher, and two, I had a really good programmer.
And I get to reap all the benefit of that. Thanks, Sensei.
You bet.
And I bought the book. Yeah, I'm making out. I'm making out.
But the programming is crazy. Now, we should really talk a little bit more about that, because I don't want people getting
programming,
wrong idea. What the programming does is,
I feel like you're gonna punch me now. Like, I'm all scared and shit. I feel like he's gonna throw a sucker punch and I gotta fucking deflect.
Well, if you're on point, then I wouldn't do it.
Oh, I'm scared now. I'm scared.
I wouldn't do it if you were like on point. Okay, so the thing is, like, I was just speaking to my student Ed. Ed was on the show.
Yes.
So Ed was he's talking to me about some stuff, and he was like, what do you think that this group has? What do you think that group has? And looking at different martial arts, and I said, man, their technique, we were looking at this specific martial art, I was like, their technique is sloppy, it's lousy, and he'd say, well, what do you think is their strength, Sensei? I was like, they got ferocity. They're going to rip you apart. I like that. And the thing is that sometimes... I always watch the guys that fill in. The guys that aren't interested in filling in, those are the guys that are really going to get hurt. Some guys are like perfect tacticians, I watch some jiu-jitsu and it's just sharp and I love it. I look at it like other people look at art, I'm looking at it like, oh, that's so smooth, it's so tight, it's so freaking perfect, it's beautiful. When I see good jiu-jitsu, I love it. Other times, I see sloppy, crappy jiu-jitsu, and I see an animal. And I'm like, oh, I love it. I love it, and it's not what you want is both. Mm-hmm. What you want is both. And what I mean by animal, I mean a man that's just, he's a murderer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like a passion for it. Like he's a lunatic.
Yeah, right.
And that is something that you need to jump into, a mental state that you need to jump into and not lose that beautiful, smooth, and crisp technique. You want both.
Right.
But the thing is that usually martial arts is one or the other. You get the guy that's half a bubble off level, as my father puts it. The guy that, half a bubble off level. He's what did my student Anthony used to say? He's tweaking. He's snapped. He already snapped, and he's gonna snap again. And if you have that, that's unfortunately because so many people are untrained. That's your whole martial art right there. I've heard that so many times. Oh, I don't need martial arts. I'm freaking crazy, and yeah, that can work for you, especially in this day and age. You're not going up against somebody who's truly trained and being crazy, because you're gonna lose. Mm. Your crazy ass is gonna be upside down. Mm. But for someone who's not trained, I'll swing like a lunatic and I'll just keep coming. One thing that I always thought Sambo was awesome at was just that, because they had some Sambo, and it's always some, because you got your lousy everybody's, you got your lousy, you could talk about the greatest martial art ever, and then you got somebody that's doing it lousy. But you got your crisp Sambo guys that are really crisp, and then you have lunatics. And the lunatics that are crisp, now there's not too many martial arts that I'll say this about, but the lunatic that's crisp at Sambo, I wouldn't want to face him. I'm not saying that I wouldn't go in confident. I'm saying I wouldn't want to. Mm-hmm. That's a deadly combo. Those guys, a real Sambo guy.
I don't think I've seen Sambo.
Sambo's Russian.
What's it related to?
Russian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, Russian Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah. Like, they don't have the greatest entries. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they enter with their face. It's like the punch comes in. Mm-hmm.
Oh, God! No, I wouldn't want. Whoa! That's like caveman.
It's very strange.
Ape-like.
I've seen it. Like, sometimes they have good entries, okay entries. Sometimes they have okay entries. But sometimes it's just like, screw the entry. I'm just... and I'm not arguing. I'm like, yeah. You look at it and, so, is it the best, most ideal? No. Well, yeah. He's freaking crazy. He's going to kill that guy. It's going to work. We have to do that as martial artists. Too often, you get the guy that wants to look too fancy and the guy that wants to go too crazy. You gotta balance it. But where were we?
Yin and yang.
That was a tangent.
Where were we?
Big time.
Oh, we're talking about the programming thing.
Programming. Okay. So, that comfort had to be instilled, and then the attack had to come from nowhere so that you could have a switch that went on. Otherwise, if you're not ready or quick to violence, you're vulnerable.
Which is that fierceness you're talking about, like these Sambo guys. You got to be able to
boom. There's a scene in Goodfellas. So I'm a big fan of of flicks, and especially mob flicks. But they're talking about Joe Pesci's character and how he just snaps. What makes this guy a good mobster? Actually, I don't think it was Goodfellas. I mean, he flips out in Goodfellas, but I think it was Casino.
Casino sounds like it.
I think it was Casino, because he's just he's hanging out at 1 second, and then boom,
he snaps.
Beating a guy's head in. And that kind of thing, because you're not used to it, someone's going to get the upper hand on you. I would like to think that no one's going to get the upper hand on my students because I acclimate them to that. I was acclimated to that. I mean, my sensei and I are hanging out outside of class. You know, one of my craziest, and now it's a fond memory, but at the time it was a horrible memory, was driving down the street. And I'm driving down 145, MacArthur Road, towards 7th Street, and I go over the bridge as 145 becomes 7th Street toward Allentown and leaving Whitehall. And I go over the bridge, and out of the blue, you know, he's sitting next to me, I'm driving it. Out of the blue, it just comes like this. Flah! And it just, boom! Like this as I'm driving. And I go, and when you get hit that hard, you can't see straight. And when you get hit, when you don't know what's coming.
So he came from the back seat?
No. He was
in the front seat, but leaned his arm back that far and wow!
Like that. And it was like, wow.
What in the world?
And I'm trying to put my hand up in an arc so that I don't receive another one. And I'm trying to see the road.
Talk about loyalty.
Not swerve. Well, I was obsessed with him. Like, there's not much.
And he was trying to get rid of you.
All the time.
He was obviously trying to get rid of you.
All the time.
But would use the crap out of you in the meantime. Yeah.
So a year and a half later, we're driving in Montgomeryville, which is outside of Philly, and he tried to throw a punch. We were in conversation. It was about a spiritual thing, and he tries to throw this punch, and I was quick to violence. I have my hands on the wheel, and as this punch is coming, it's an uppercut. I deflected it, and I stuck his hand down. I trapped his hand down with my elbow, and I brought my fist up, and I'm holding the steering wheel.
Oh, so you had a trap, and you had the wheel, and you had a free arm.
I could hit him, and
wow.
And I wouldn't dare try to hit him, but showing that I was ready to hit him, and he's so calm. He just pulls his arm back. It was like totally unimpressed. I freaking trained the hell out of that, by the way. Like I knew that one day it was coming. I was waiting a year and a half for it to come, and when it did come, I was ready. I was on point. It was perfect. I was really happy with that. And I just heard this. This is all he gave me.
He sucked his teeth.
Like it was like he was almost annoyed.
Wow. Wow. Oh man, the training you went through is crazy.
What the heck?
And so parts of that training then actually made its way to the defensive tape you did of driving. You did a video where it was like the driving defensive. Somebody tried to attack you from the back seat, from the front seat.
Oh, yeah.
And you showed us how you got attacked. Right. You actually went through that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. That's a testament to that.
Yes. Now the difference between, I don't want to get it wrong. My sensei's big thing was the initial attack. It was always initiating, like the initial attack. It wasn't like after that it was all over. It's just that he wasn't interested in beating me down. He was just interested in showing me vulnerability.
Mm.
So like if he could hit me 5 times, he wouldn't. He would just show me that he could hit me 5 times. He would hit me that first time so that I could see, oh man, I could have gotten tagged like 10 more times. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that was that was it, you know.
That's good though. Like, it's good training. The way you went about it's a little harsh, but thank God you got that, special ability to be able to take that kind of pain.
There's no special ability.
Yeah, it is. Because I would not have stuck around.
I developed close personal relationships, and then.
Oh yeah! See, you guys see.
And then.
Oh!
And then
so you guys stay tuned because there's gonna be an interview with Sensei where he's gonna actually clock me.
No,
And then I'm gonna have to practice at home for this shit.
It happens at a very specific rank.
Oh, okay. So let it be known I'm a blue belt. So at what rank will I have
green?
It's at green. So I got a little while yet.
It's at gray. Why am I saying green? It's at gray belt.
So I'm at blue. So I got red, green.
You got
no red, purple.
You got red, purple, green, and then gray.
Gray. All right. I'm not far off.
And gray. At gray, you can just get attacked all the time.
Is Ed gray right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. See, I didn't know I could just.
Well, he just gets attacked all the time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just.
Wait till I find Ed.
Well, this is when we don't attack Ed. This is when we don't attack Ed.
Okay, understood.
When he's like this.
Don't attack him.
When he's ready.
Right.
If he's not ready, and then you comfort him.
Oh yeah!
You do.
All right. Hopefully he won't see this.
You comfort him.
Yeah.
Brother, it's so good to hear. And that's, I urge everyone to do that.
And he can't hit me back. I mean, he can, but...
Oh, yeah, no, he's got to lock you up and stop you.
Okay, so...
But the big thing is that initial thing.
You see how fun this dojo is? Why wouldn't you want to be a part of this?
Yeah.
It's a little crazy.
But
we have fun and it's good training.
It is a little crazy.
So when you're a gray belt, you get attacked by your brothers.
All the time.
But you're allowed to finish and lock them up.
And you're allowed to stop them.
Yeah.
You're allowed to try to... you try to stop them.
Yeah.
We want you to stop us.
Right, because at gray belt, you should be able to handle surprise attacks.
You gotta bring that fire.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people can bring that fire. I've heard a lot of people talking. Oh my gosh, so many people talk. One of the things that everybody talks about, I love when they come up to me and they'll go, yeah, but in real combat. I'm like, what do you think we're doing? You think we're like playing patty cake on the mat and then like what do you think we're doing?
Yeah.
And real combat, I like to get hit 3 or 4 times, and then they're in trouble. I've heard that so many times. The reason why that person's saying that is not because he's an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to just chalk it off as that. Oh, this guy's a freaking moron. You want to get hit 3 or 4 times? Dude, I'm going to kick you in the throat the first time. And then you're just going to be on the ground choking. So, it's easy to write these guys off. It is. But the reason why they're stating that is because they don't know how to tap into it. They have to get it drawn out of them.
Right.
They have to get it drawn out. So the first time they get hit, they're not awake. They're like, what was that about? Like the second time they get hit, oh, that sucked. And then the third time they get hit, they're like, oh, hell no.
Right, now they're awake.
And now they're awake, and now they can retaliate, which is, I understand it. It's the human condition. If you're not ready, you got to be quick to fire.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be cuddly as a teddy bear. Listen, I love you, and then I'll freaking kill you. It's got boom,
snap.
Boom, and that's so necessary, and that comes from programming. That is, wasn't it Maslow? Who rang the bell, fed the dog, rang the bell, fed the dog, and then he was like, "Come here, check this out," and he rings the bell, and the dog salivates because he knows he's getting food. Mm-hmm. That's it. I don't see the fire yet. And then I just keep ringing that bell, and then anybody can ring the bell, and boom, you're on. We have a lot of different sayings in the dojo, switched on, things like that. You switched on. But my student Jack Toole Sensei, talk about a detailed practitioner. That man embodies my teachings. Very proud of him. I taught him since he was like 13. And he's in his 20s, and he's amazing. He's very, very talented. Very talented. And he's one that wanted to test his talents. He got a job as a bouncer at
Tally Ho,
which is like,
it gets rowdy.
It does, and it's always in Playboy magazine as like the #1 party.
Mike Tyson was there.
Yeah,
Mike Tyson was there 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, I believe it, because it's a big it's a big deal, that bar. So anyway, a lot of fights happen. Cops are always outside the bar just waiting, because fights happen. So he's dealt with everything from knife attacks, all kinds of stuff, and he's done phenomenally. I do attribute all of that time on the mat. I do. But I also attribute the programming. And he was very nervous about that programming. One conversation he just brought up to me the other day, and this is why it's fresh in my head. He said to me, he said, remember, Sensei, when I'm driving in my pickup truck and you stopped me and you leaned in? Because I had a message for him, you know? So I flagged him down like this, and he slows up, and I go, roll down the window, and he rolls down the window, and I lean in the window, and I go, Jack, and he's like, yes, Sensei? And I go, boom! I just knocked him out.
You laid him out?
Yeah.
In the car?
Yeah.
You just decked him.
And then walked away. Now, that seems
what belt was
crazy.
Gray belt?
Yeah. So that seems crazy, but I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. You're not getting the jump.
No, not anymore.
You can't get the jump.
No, there's no way. Not at the window, at least.
Well, at the window. My point is, it wasn't just that instance. There were other instances where, you know, I'd comfort them, I'd do different things. Other times, just out of the blue, just, yo, man. Whatever it could be. And there's always a concept and an understanding of proximity. Right now, closest target to closest weapon. Your elbow's the closest thing that can come at me.
Mm-hmm.
And when it does, I'm going to meet it.
Yeah.
With what?
With your elbow.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to meet it underneath it, and then I'm going to ride over top of it by rotating my shoulder.
Mm-hmm. I'm
going to retract my body as it comes. So as it comes, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
So I want to retract those targets. There's an understanding of application, and it's not, oh, I wasn't ready,
mm-hmm.
because
you're always ready.
It has to be.
Yeah.
That programming has to happen.
Yeah.
So that, you know, when we deflect, we like to deflect with our knuckles.
Right.
Right. Well, what if my knuckles were back here?
Right. You'd have to deflect with your elbow.
Yeah. Now this is my knuckle right here.
Right.
And then what's the next thing? And then what's the next thing?
Right.
This is a shot for you.
Right.
Right. As it comes, unless you beat me to it, then. Or whatever. The point is that this is a shot for you, but it's not coming in. It's here so that it is automatically defensive and on offensive simultaneously.
I see what you mean.
If it trailed back or something like that, then I get
you're laid out, right?
It's always I don't want to say correct, because you can't use terms like that because they're very subjective. But the way I justify using the word correct is, did you get hit? No? Then that's correct. You know, other people look at like the correct as like there's 100% or there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree. I think any time you're not getting hit is correct. Levels of correctness. And when you get hit, any time you're getting hit, that's levels of incorrectness. Or I like to say there is no wrong, there's only improvement.
Improvement, yes, you do say that.
And there's a dire need for improvement. You're getting cracked. So, you know, it is what it is. My sensei had a standing order, and it was, if you can hit me, you're allowed to try. And you know, when you got hit so many times, you got upset, and sometimes people would be like, man, there's no way. He's sleeping on that couch. There's no way he could stop me. And then you wish you never tried.
No!
But, yeah, different times.
It's pretty awesome stuff.
Technique of the week.
They're showing us how to get out of this. So they're showing you swing your arm, and in that one movement, you're not allowed to fold that too. Yeah. You're coming up, and the groin strike, sure, that works. And with that one movement, you're breaking this and stepping through. And obviously to be drawn or doing something along those lines. I mean, I'm in here, I grabbed the guy, I've got a thumb, you know, I'm twerking, stepping through, holding, and ready to cuff the guy and move on. You know, so it's like those types of foundations where that's what I want to be doing, and running through the basic movement, the overkill of positioning, of Shintai, of, you know, the other guys are going like this. Shintai, Taiseigo. You know, I'm keeping my back straight, I'm keeping shoulders aligned, I'm keeping movement, I'm keeping connection. That's something he's not choking me with anymore. And, you know, whatever you do.
Toole Sensei was at the time Sankyu, and I had my Gokyu, and I was evaluating for my Yonkyu. And for those who may not know, Sankyu in our system's represented by a gray belt, and when you're at that rank, you're eligible to be attacked at any given moment as a part of real world scenario training. You could be sleeping at bed, we'll open your house and attack you. So at
how great is that? What dojo does that? No other dojo does that. It's awesome. Find you at your job. Oh, you're taking a poop? We're gonna attack you. We'll beat you up. in numbers. In numbers. So make sure you don't get away. It's awesome. Great training.
So I was it was at the point of my evaluation, and some of my details might be foggy because this point of my evaluation I was exhausted. It was at the end, and I was partway through my own Nandori where I was up against a corner, and they had Toole Sensei and one other guy come up and attack me, and amidst me being attacked, Sensei had sent someone else to attack Toole Sensei. So it was strange because
Toole Sensei was that gray belt.
Yeah, he was that gray belt at the time. So
surprise. That's crazy. So wait, you sent Toole Sensei to attack him, and then you sent someone else to attack Toole Sensei? Because I thought he's never going to see this coming. That's hilarious.
So by the time, if I remember correctly, by the time he had gotten up, I had already tapped. I tapped someone out, and then Toole Sensei and I got extremely confused, and we exchanged a glance, and then we both just jumped on a guy. So Toole Sensei and I glanced at each other. He stopped attacking me, and then we both just took a guy. And then at the end of the video, you see I'm sitting and Sensei walks up and we just shake hands. But we got this, and it was a cool moment for me. Just the idea of camaraderie, and we had built a relationship to a point where amidst chaos we were able to look at each other and have enough level of communication to be like, you go that way, I go this way, and we're good.
Got it.
So
it's so awesome.
It was fun.
Yep. I don't think I've ever felt so safe, man. I when we go out together to like the bar, we'll all go out together to get some pizza. I've never felt so safe. Like when do you go out and be like surrounded by ninja that are on your side? You know what I'm saying? When can you say that in life? That you've got like ninjas backing you up, like at least 9 to 10 ninja.
I mean, he's not joking, folks. We're in full garb.
Well, no, not you know what I mean. Yeah. but no, I literally, I've never had a beer at a bar and just felt so comfortable. Like nobody's gonna screw with me because I have this many like trained martial artists with me. It's a great feeling to be a part of something like that.
Yeah. It is. It is. It's phenomenal.